Hello. Welcome to another episode of the TheCMDpodS1E4 Today, it's been a while you've heard from us, but Charley, we know Jakpa, we just had to sort ourselves out with our exams and some petty things. So today, as with Jakpa, we said Jakpa come back again to come talk about Jakpa. I talk Jakpa plenty. So today I did plus my brother from another mother. They call him Papi Oti. The MLS Papi Oti. Most of you might have seen him in the Farmer Yami episode, but let him introduce himself to my people.
Okay, so my name is Derek Otabro, but more commonly I'm known as Papi Oti. Like here, so that I'm a medical laboratory scientist. And I love to do this. I love to talk about pertinent issues, and that's just about it. And I'm grateful to be here. It's nice to have me here.
Hey, Jenny Brown was saying me. They talk about plenty. So, you hear Jakpa for the social media talk. What do you think say the Jakpa?
So I think that more rightly is a common term that is very common to Nigerians than Ghanaians.
Oh, okay.
It's just a phenomenon where people seek for greener pastures in countries abroad other than staying in their countries, and it's more or less a cry for hopelessness, or a term that describes hopelessness in the country or in the fate of the country. So people would like to move outside the country and then seek greener pastures. That is what Japa is essentially means, and it's more common. It's a common term in Nigeria than in Ghana.
You say greener pastures. Some adequately good the song says the grass is greener from the other side, but it's not always greener there. What do you think about that? Do you think that the other side is always green?
So for many people, they would like to experience it. Adequately good, like you say, he has experienced the other side and he's yet to tell you. But like they say, let people experience it for themselves. There they can say that's true. So most people would not buy into that ideology, because when you look at it from afar, the grass is certainly greener over there than here. So people would want to experience it for themselves, and so most people will not buy that narrative that whatever I say.
Whatever I say. But you talk most what about you? You know, feel like one experience the green side.
So mine is different. I think that it's a personal decision. It's more personal than yes, it's a personal conviction that I feel I still have faith in the country.
Okay.
It's very unusual to say, but I still have so much faith in the country.
Sure.
I get faith for the country. I believe that things will be better.
Okay.
And even if things don't get better, we need to stay and make it better. If all of us decide to leave the country, it's just for greener pastures, who stays and makes the greener pasture? And so for some of us, we would like to stay and then coordinate better processes for the country. So by coordinate, I mean that link up with our friends. So I'm not someone who's against Jakpa, but I feel that it should be contextualized, or it should be individualized. As a person, you need to look at your situation and look at why you want to Japa, because like people say, it is not always greener on the other side. So it's just a matter of you looking at your situation and then individualizing the whole scenario and then saying whether or not you want to Japa or not. But for me, I feel the country is going to get better. Eventually, it will get better.
You are really hopeful.
We'll stay enjoy the fruits of our labor.
They never wait when they sit up. I know go right.
And so we have hopes of seeing top. So because even if you want to go abroad, you are going with hopes that it gets better, because we have heard stories of homeless people and people who are not seeing top over there. So even if you are leaving the soils of, say, Ghana or Nigeria, you are going to, say, America or UK with the hopes that it gets better. So why don't we sit here with that same hope and hope that it gets better? That is just my conviction. It's just personal.
Very good.
But it doesn't define the conviction of the masses. Many people would like to leave the country. I'm not saying if I have the opportunity, I won't leave the country. I'll certainly leave. But ultimately, I just have the hope that things will get better. So even if I have to leave, I leave and come back and make it better.
I see. Then I see you're actually like a passionate citizen.
Not necessarily, but I'm of the view that this staying in your country is way better than going elsewhere. Maybe it's because of the way or my perspective on issues. I feel like even if you go outside, getting acquainted with people, things, it takes a while. I don't want to go through that process again.
Of change.
Yes, so I'd like to stay in my country and make it better.
So I think so far we spoke on like your personal thoughts and your decision. But if I should put you into the shoes of others, why do you think that it has become the latest trend? Because, for example, the journey to Libya like this, it's very, 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 very like bad. People go through a lot. Some people even die on the sea. Probably when they got to Libya, trying to cross the sea to Italy and all that. Don't you think that there's something that they are actually running from wherever they are coming from? Because you've been hearing stories, people they die for the water top, but still your mind they say, hopefully you go feel cross the sea and catch Italy. Don't you think that there's something that they're actually running from their countries?
Okay, so I think this is it. Initially or throughout the conversation, we've mentioned two words, that is hope and hopelessness. So many people have hopes, and the country is also plunged into a state of hopelessness. So you can't put your hopes in like the hopes of the country, because when you look at it, it's like a sea. The hopes of the country has dried up, and you have a lake that is filled with water. You can't give your lake water to the sea, because eventually you can't fill it up. So many people would like to go to places where they can put their lake water into a sea and make a recognition. That is why I think that many people want to. They still have hopes. People who are leaving the country, they are living with the hope that it gets better for them. So they still have the hopes that it will get better. So they want to go to a place where that hope makes sense, or that hope is practical and can actually materialize into something significant. And I think that is a problem with our countries, say African countries like Ghana, like Nigeria. People have lost hope, and the country in itself does not have there's a seeming hopelessness in the country, or in like the directions of the country. So people would like to go elsewhere with their hope to get things done better.
So you think that it is not that these people are lazy, not that these people are not having what to do in their country, but it seems they are striving so hard here in their country. Let's say I'm striving so hard here in Ghana, but still I know they sit up. So I'm just trying to probably go outside and then see if maybe if I strive there, like I will feel sit up.
Yes.
Then I think that our government officials to have a role to play in all this. Because if they've been seeing in news, they've been seeing in documentaries where people are passing through this Mediterranean Sea and then they are dying. Shouldn't it be a lesson to them, or shouldn't it revive them to actually strive and make sure the country is a safe haven for all of us? Or you think it is politics and so they think they are doing what they can do? Because my minds have mixed scatter. Because Charley, we they suffer, where the people do the mind. People they go die. What the person they run from? If I not say the place not be good.
So I understand you, and I understand where you're coming from. And it's not necessarily because they don't want to make it better, but like a friend of mine says, even this country, even if you give it to Jesus, it will take like 50 years to make it better.
Is it that bad?
Yes, many facets of of our economy, of everything is like sports. And so I think what they have, or what our leaders are facing, is they have lost their focus. They have lost their focus on where they need to implement like necessary stuff. Where do they start from? Because if you were to say put Ghana there as a whole, it has many parts torn. So where are you going to seal it from? Are you starting from here? Are you starting from here? And I think that is essentially our problem with leadership. They don't particularly know where to start from, or where to. I believe if you begin, you can make progress, and that is the excuse that they play themselves with. Oh, he comes, he thinks that, oh, he has done transport. But if you look at it, it is not transport that is a problem for now. People are looking at bettering the economy. People are looking at their daily livelihood. Is it getting better? But his focus is on transport, and he's making significant gains in transport. But he's not making significant gains in bettering the economy or bettering the livelihood of the people. So then it's like a wasted effort, because you are trying to make one part better, but you have left the other part. and ultimately it does not get better as a whole. And so that is the problem. We have lost focus.
Misplaced priorities.
Focus on where to start from, where to not start from, all of these things. So I think that is the major problem.
So if right now someone like you are identifying the problem, but you are not in the position to make an impact or to try to correct the problem or make correction or profess a solution to the problem, what do you also think that? How do you think that the youth can also help to solve some of this problem? Is it that we are not giving, because we are not giving the helms of affairs, so we're also not speaking up? Because I said, like just like how you mentioned, you've actually identified the problem. How do you send the message to the government or to anybody? How do you send that message?
So, like, I'm a member of the Church of Pentecostal, and we have this mantra that we use that says, brighten the corner where you are. You don't necessarily have to be in the helm of affairs. What do we mean by helm of affairs? Do you necessarily have to be the president? We can't have 30 million presidents.
Very true.
We can't have 30 million ministers, but we can have 30 million workforce. So what are you doing in your small corner to make the country better? What are you doing?
You are doing TheCMDpodS1E4.
So here we are identifying the issues, and what we are looking for is concerted effort. So I think that people would have like the same ideologies that I have. When we have few or more people, we create a force. That force better identifies the problems. That force develops what is it called? Solutions to help better the problems. So essentially, what are we doing in our own small corner? Are we looking out for the collective like good of the country? When you sit in your office, when you sit in like in your small corner and you're doing like your things, maybe you are doing your own work, do you look at the general good of the country? Like what I'm doing, you feel like you're in a small position, but in that small position, whatever you do might have a significant like effect on the like well-being of the country. For example, I'm a medical laboratory scientist. If a patient comes to me and I'm not treating the patient well, it means that the patient would have to buy more drugs. More drugs means that affects the economy of the person, the individual person. So the person does not have money now. The person does not contribute significantly to like the economy of the country. So maybe if we start to look at the issues individually, we'll make progress.
So if we know we for at least one a small corner now, if we try to make things.
Yeah. The government will do, but you know go fit do all. We are the government. Like Abraham Lincoln says, the government is for the people by the people, and
but we practice that one. For the government.
That is what our governance is built on. It is that ideology that our governance is built on. So it's for the people, it's by the people, because we elect the government. So essentially we are the ones electing them. So it's for us. We are giving our mandates to them. So we need to do better as people. We can blame the government or the people in power all we want, but it is us who cause them to make a change if there's a need to. Because right now, if as 30 million people, we want to, the government or the people in governance will not be up to say 10,000 or 1 million. So if you want to make a change, we can cause that characteristic change. 30 million to 1 million is far better. So, yeah.
I see. So I think we spoke a lot. We spoke from some of the reasons why people Jakpa, where we were stating hopelessness and the decision, the thought that what they are striving for is actually not making any gains here. Yeah. So it seems they are just having a wastage of their labor. Then the person they work by, they sit up. And we've also migrated to the fact that the government also have a responsibility to do in trying to reduce this kind of Jakpa thing that we are talking about. And also even we as individuals, in order to make the country better and then help the government to rule the country well, we also have some petty things we have to do in our country. I think we've spoke extensively well. What would you end with to tell my audience? What do you think about Jakpa? Just a summary.
Oh, Jakpa is good. If I sit here and say Jakpa is no good, I'm lying, because people have Jakpa and they are like doing extremely well. But even if you Japa and you do well, it's all based on your mindset. And so I think that we need to hold positive mindset. It's one of the things that is lacking in like our dispensation now. people have lost the hope. People have lost like faith in the processes of the country. I think that it's about time that we keep on that positive mindset and positive ideas. Will help all of us and help develop the country. I think that's about it.
I see that's a very, very good submission. Charlie, matter there.
Plenty matters there.
Matters there. Then we will talk. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe.